I think all lasting change requires discipline, requires courage to do the hard things, and it requires vigilance. It requires a guardian at the gate, and I think that's you, and I think that's me. I mean, it's tough in this time to run an agile shop, to make an agile transformation happen. Most teams are composed of people who have other day jobs. You know this. This will be particularly true of your product owner, for example. They've got multiple priorities, multiple products, multiple projects, but it's also becoming increasingly true of all, even the core team members, developers, architects, testers, analysts that have multiple accountabilities across the organization. And once you get Agile out of tech, it gets even worse. You're going to be pulling people and peeling people from their day-to-day every time you try to get them together to work on a new initiative. It happens all the time. Tell me if you've experienced this. They're appointed. They don't get to choose which initiative they're on. They're usually chosen because whoever's got cycles, whoever's on the bench for a little bit, whoever's not 120% allocated, get themselves elected, voluntold, to be on the latest and greatest initiative. They've got multiple accountabilities across the organization. They're reporting to 10, 15 different product owners or bosses or managers. They're slicing their time. They're slicing their energy. And the worst part is, half the time, they don't feel that they have license to make decisions. So everything they do has to go back to a council or a committee or to another boss somewhere in the organization. So how do you manage a team like that? How do you work with a team like that? How do you help a bunch of individuals who haven't congealed into a unit, who are not part of a team in reality? How do you help them become an agile team? Because here's the truth, if they're living like that, they're not able to live agile values every day. Even if they're working on multiple agile teams, they're probably getting different versions of agile from different scrum masters, coaches, and leaders. See, agile is something that you have to live with as a way of being, but you can't be it for 30 minutes a day and expect change to happen down to the cellular level, to the soul level. They're going to drift. They're going to hear some lessons, and they're never going to have a chance to practice it. The lesson that they learn today may be lost tomorrow. It's going to be really difficult to make lasting and meaningful change. So somebody has to stay vigilant with them. We have to get them to repeat and own and understand daily promises and how to keep them. We have to show them how to set weekly goals. We have to teach them to show product, not to just talk about progress. We have to keep focus on and prioritize the highest value things. So what I'm trying to say here is that to be vigilant means you need to keep everyone on the fundamentals. You have to help them become successful by once again shining a light on right thinking and right action so that they can develop right habits until you don't have to be vigilant anymore and they can just be agile. So how do you help them? By being vigilant? What does being vigilant mean in this context when you only have them for 30 minutes a day or sometimes 30 minutes a week? You have to show them, help them structure their work in a way that can be broken down to about daily sized promises. You have to show them a fast way to communicate the state of done things, the state of those promises. Here's where the Kanban board comes in and becomes so popular because it's so easy to set up, maintain, and visualize. You need to show them how to set goals every week. That's your sprint goal, based on a set of priorities from some product owner, some decision maker, someone who's on the hook for a certain outcome or output. You need to make sure that every interaction is based on the demonstration of completed work. Make sure that they're phrasing their accountabilities in terms of done things, not ing things. So that each time we get together, we move a done thing from the doing pile to the done pile. And that allows us to showcase and share with our team the true nature of the status towards our goal. We need to make sure we release something of high value and high priority to the business or the customer every single week or every 2 weeks or whatever your sprint boundary happens to be. So being vigilant means structuring your interactions so that is all you talk about and that's everything that you talk about. What's the goal? How will we measure that goal? How will we know if it's done and done well? What small promise am I making today, even if I can only spend 5 minutes on this project, that moves the team closer to that goal by virtue of done thing after done thing, that at the end of the day and the end of the week, I can demonstrate, I can show you. Not talk about it, not report on status, not report on expectations, but show you a finished thing. And if it's too big to fit into a week, I got to break it down into smaller pieces so it does. This is what you repeat with them. This is your stick handling in hockey. This is your dribble in basketball. This is your home row when you're learning to type or keyboard. These are your scales when you're learning to play the piano. You got to make these things. You got to drill on them to make them unforgettable. To put them through a course, to show them once, to teach them, to preach to them won't work. It just won't stick. You have to be with them as a coach to guide them on those fundamentals. Don't worry about getting fancy. Don't worry about leveling up. Don't worry about the tricks and the stunts and the advanced level stuff until you've mastered the fundamentals. Most of what you're trying to do with Agile won't work. But if you can get the fundamentals right, you will have gotten them to do something that most project teams, even most Scrum or Lean or Kanban or any kind of Agile team fails to do, which is to keep things moving in the face of a rapidly changing and dangerous landscape in such a way that we continue to thrill our customers and in a way that allows us to respond to, deftly respond to, a changing and unpredictable marketplace. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. You can reach out at badassagile.com or find me on Twitter at badass_agile. I'm also on Instagram at badassagile. I look forward, as always, to next time, and until then, stay badass.